Hello, and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you all, the good and wonderful people of Chew. People today, hope you're feeling grand and all the world. Hi there, everybody. Today, people of Chew, we are looking at this brand new pedal from a glorious company that is Boss. Everybody, may I introduce you to the Booster Preamp BP-1W. This is a Wazacraft pedal. Boss have very, very kindly sent me this for review. They're coming after me again. I swear, officer, I was below 80 dB. I promise. Anyway. Ha ha ha. They gave them the wrong address. Anyway, back to the pedal. So yeah, it's a very simple pedal. It's got the preamp circuits from the Boss C1 chorus pedal, the Space Echo, and there's also another one which I forget. I think it's just like a preamp? I don't know. Anyway, I forget because I'm thick and I don't remember things. There's also a switch on the back as well, which has got a different buffer. Because most Boss pedals have buffers anyway, especially with tuner. And there's a standard and there's a vintage buffer on it. I've got it on the vintage one. I like it more. I'll show you the difference in a bit. Not much massive difference, but I do, there's a little bit. So it's a very simple pedal. When this little switch here is to the right, it's the C1. On the left side, I think it's a Space Echo, and in the middle, it's kind of like a natural kind of thing. I've read the manual. Can you tell? I don't read manuals. I'm illiterate. I can't read. And then you got two dials, level and gain. In that intro jam, I had on a CE1, which is my favourite. Wonder why. And basically, I had the gain and the level dimed out, and I was combining it with the Golden Plexi. This pedal on its own is really cool. But I much prefer combining it with the Golden Plexi. Together, I love it. On its own, it's just a bit too clean for me. It's just when you get to kind of gain it up, it's a little bit too harsh for my ear. And when it's kind of like, less gained up and a bit more clean, it's too clean. So when I combine that with the Golden Plexi, I'm like in heaven. It's amazing. And I say, you heard in the intro jam, most of the kind of like, solo I was doing was just the Golden Plexi and this. You heard me turn it on. And it just kicks it into happy territory. And also, when you have the Golden Plexi, this, and then the DS2 on as well, it's just immense. Anyway, let's... I keep saying anyway. By the by, let's get into it, shall we, people of YouTube? So, we're going through the orange Super Crush today. That's set completely clean. It's not even on. That's clever, isn't it? I'm prepared. Totally clean. Add in the preamp, like I say, I like this. It'll probably clip the camera, but it just enhances that. Just makes that clean sound a little bit bigger. You'll hear it in a sec anyway. So I'm going to show you basically all the settings now. We're going to start on a C1 mode. I'm going to have the Golden Plexi disengaged to start with. I'll just show you the pedal on its own to start with, and then I'll kick the Golden Plexi on, and I'll show you it with like a DS2, just to kind of show you what, super clean, broken up, kind of dirty John Frusciante kind of clean, and then full out distortion. So just let you hear how it kind of responds. I'll also click the little switch on the back as well, the buffer switch, the standard and VTG switch. So without further ado, let's make some more noise. You don't want to hear this. You want to hear this. Trust me. Okay, people tube. So there you go. That's just the pedal on its own. That's just, that's just the Super Crush set completely clean. Kind of nothing really going on with the amp, and then basically this is just basically giving it a punch in the face and going, "Work harder, damn you!" And it makes it work harder. It's amazing. It does what it says on the tin, and again, that's what Boss pedals do. That's why they're used world over by everyone. It's because Boss pedals they do what they say on the tin. I've used the DS2 forever, and it's because it does turbo distortion. It's exactly what it does. Anyway, I'm waffling. So now what I'm going to do, people of Tube, is I'm going to combine this with the Golden Plexi and let you hear it with a little bit more kind of gained up, less kind of like compressed kind of clean sounds, a bit more kind of like overdriven kind of sounds. So let's put the Golden Plexi on. And put the booster on, and let you hear that. Audio Protrude, there you go. It's a beast. This pedal just kind of basically just sends things over the falls, and I like that very much. I also really like the fact of, excuse me while I blow my nose a second. When you get the gain above 3 o'clock, I've been running, when I've been playing with this pedal picture, I've been running the level flat out. I've barely turned the level all the way down. I kind of like, I like the way it responds more with the level cranked. In all fairness, I like the way the pedal responds fully cranked. On the C1 mode, with the gain all the way up, the level all the way up, combined with the golden plexi, makes me extraordinarily happy. And it feeds back in like one of the most glorious ways. It just sustains. And that just makes me very, very happy. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, fatness. Once you kind of get the gain above, kind of like, say, 3 o'clock, it fattens up. Like, up to that point, if you have, like, gain on 0 and you bring it up to, like, 12 o'clock, about 1, 2 o'clock, it retains kind of, like, that sparkly kind of sound of your clean tone. And then once you get it above, like, to 3 and above, like, this low end kicks in. And it reminds me of, like, a plexi, a Marshall plexi. Like, when you get the volumes to a certain point, when you're running like, you know, both channels jumpered and you're running like both volumes, once you get kind of like both volumes to like the same spot, like the normal channel starts to just like become this big fat ogre-y kind of creature in the sound, and I love that because it's almost like I don't want to say fuzzy because I think that's the wrong term, but it's just big, I don't know if I can demonstrate that quickly. Maybe. Let me see if I can do it on the camera, actually, because it'd be better than in room mics. So hopefully you kind of see what I mean there. Like I said, once you get that gain dial to about 3 o'clock and above, again, I've just had the thing cranked to the max. Just, you know, it's like Dave's little MO when it comes down to like boosters and pedals. Like just turn everything all the way up. Anyway, you can hear kind of like that bottom end like fatten. Well, hopefully you can hear that bottom end fatten out, and it just becomes this big kind of bulkier kind of sound. And I really like that. Like live, that wouldn't necessarily work, because what you're going to do is you're going to then like disappear into the bass drum and the bass guitar and the toms and the floor tom. Yeah, your frequencies are just going to vanish. So live, that isn't a very good thing, but for recording and playing at home, it's a really nice sound. For live, what I would tend to do if I was using this pedal, I'd probably run it about 2 o'clock, as close to that fat threshold as I could, but just obviously kind of getting out the way of the bass and the drums, because you don't want to, you know, you're a guitarist, you're not supposed to be in the way of them. Our job as a guitarist is to get out of the way of the bass frequencies and sit in the mid-range. That's where we belong. Anyway, this pedal's really, really cool. Massive thanks to Boss for sending it. Another really cool function for this pedal, which I've been playing with. I'm not going to demonstrate now because I actually technically can't, because of the wire spaghetti that's going on down there. It's not pretty, let's just put it that way. It would take me it's hard work. This is a great solo boost pedal. If you run kind of everything, like, you know, it doesn't matter about the voice either, it just works on either. But if you have the gain and the level at about at 12 o'clock and run this at the kind of like I always call it the beginning, so technically it's the end. On the amp side of your pedal chain, so like coming from your amp into this, I have to see it that way, that's just the way it is. And then have your like distortion pedals after this. So like, say for instance, for me, if I went from my amp into this and then to the Golden Plexi and then the Marshall Governor or DS2 on that side, on the input side, this is a great solo boost pedal for, you know, for kicking your volume up. It sounds really good for that kind of thing. It just has a bit. It just adds that volume, basically. It just gives it a bit of kick, and also gives you a little bit more gain. But you have to be a bit aware of where you set the gain and the level when you're doing that, because if there's too much gain, it becomes a fizz monster. If there's too much level, it becomes a fizz monster. and that's not uncommon when the boosters and stuff like that are kind of driven that hard, they kind of fizz out. Another way you could use this, which is something that I don't do, I just don't like the way things sound, is running it through your effects loop to be a booster as well. I know a lot of people do that, and this would be a great candidate for a pedal like that. If you're after a volume jump and use effects loops, you could stick this into your effects loop and it could be a clean boost for you. But yeah, it's mega. It just works, does the job. I love the way it sounds, especially when it's dimed out, just flat out on the CE1 mode with the golden plexi. They drop my plectrum, stick a fork in me, I'm done. But yeah, it's a great booster preamp, and again, does what it says on the tin, and we all want that, you know. I don't like it when, like, you know, sometimes I have played pedals in the past where it's like, you have no idea what it does. It says it does one thing, but does it actually do that? That is the question. Anyway, people of Tube, let me know what you thought to the, I don't know what happened to my voice then, the Boss Booster Preamp BP/-1W Wazacraft. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. These things are a really, really cool boost option. And like I said, I just love the way it kind of sends, like amps already kind of, well, they're kind of semi-distorted, but then when you kick that on, and again, that big fat low endy thing is so good. But again, if I was live, I'd just turn it down to 2, so I retain that kind of like sparky thing, get out of the way of the bass. But I love when it's dimed out like that, especially on the neck pickup. When you're on the low strings, it kind of fuzzes out, and that's going to peak the camera to, you know, Timbuktu. But I had to show you that. In the room it sounds great. It feels wicked as well. Like my cab's down there, so I'm stood in front of it, and every time I hit like that low E on the neck pickup, trouser flappingly beautiful, I must say. Anyway, people of Tube, there you go. Again, massive thanks to Boss, massive thanks to all of you watching, massive thanks to the patrons on my Patreon who keep this channel running. Without them, I would not be here right now, so thank you so much indeed. You are all legendary human beings. And yeah, let me know what you thought of this pedal in the comment section below. I'd love to hear, read your thoughts. We'll get there in the end. I'm a bit hyper. I always am. Anyway, no, I'm not always. That's just a lie. Anyway, he's an idiot. Shut up, Dave. Let the people go now. It's okay. We'll go and get a cup of tea. We'll sit down. It'll be okay. Okay, Dave. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. See you later.